I like to do another video of one of the box sets of Elvis Presley that I really love. It's the box Collector's Gold from 1991, and this was the first bigger set released by Ernst Jorgensen and Roger Semon at the top of the BMG. And they were also involved with the great Essential Elvis series. And by 1991 they had released like three volumes of Essential Elvis, and all of those were just fantastic. But in the summer of 1991 then, it was announced that a 3 CD or a 3 LP set featuring Elvis Presley recordings from the 1960s, and most of them previously unreleased, would be released in the fall. And you know, I was 14 years old and I was thrilled to death. I had been a fan for about 4 or 5 years by then, and I just loved to listen to outtakes and in-between talk between the takes, and Elvis Presley has always been my hero, and listening to the work in progress has always been fantastic to me, at least. So like I said, I was very thrilled, and there was a Swedish trader called Sanjay, and he sent out a flyer in the summer of 1991, and I looked through it and saved up, I think it was about 300 Swedish kroner, which equals about $40. So I would have enough by then, by the fall. And the first one that I bought, naturally, being in Sweden, was the CD version in 12 by 12 format. It's a great looking set. And in USA, the set was released as a 6 by 12 size. It's called the long box. Had a nice sticker to it too, and it was like I said, a 3 CD set. And the first one of those discs was devoted to recordings made for soundtracks. And in the background we can hear one of my favorite songs from Follow That Dream, What a Wonderful Life. A lot of outtakes that I really love. One Broken Heart for Sale with the extra verse, and just a great disc. And disc 2 of that set included tracks from Nashville. But I have also gotten some information from BMG that the Hollywood disc 1, was initially supposed to include more material, but it was cut down to about 45 minutes. It was probably a decision from above. Otherwise, initially they would have included things like Girls, 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 the end title version there, and Dainty Little Moonbeams. That wasn't included. They would have included The Meanest Girl in Town, Everybody Come Aboard, Dominic would have been included, The Girl I Never Loved, and a long version of Suppose. So by now we have those takes, but in 1991 they cut it down to, so all 3 discs were about 45 minutes each. Like I said, disc 2 was devoted to Nashville, and just great recordings. You can look at the back here on the box. Fantastic to hear outtakes of Like a Baby and Give Me the Right, Just Tell Her Jim Said Hello with the triangle. And I love the outtake of Come What May. At the time I hadn't heard the master. I was 14 and I hadn't bought the entire Elvis Presley catalog yet. So that was fascinating to hear a new song for me. Going Home was of course a great outtake, with a lot of in-between talk and Elvis Presley in top form, with great musicians like I think Jerry Reed was on that. Actually, we hear him in the background, and the Nashville A-Team. And disc 3 then was a compilation of songs from the comeback in Las Vegas in 1969, in the summer of 1969. Just a great disc to listen to. they put it together from almost all the shows they had. Like, they recorded for 4 or 5 days, and some great outtakes here. I love Funny How Time Slips Away, an early version. He recorded it later in June 1970, but this is a fantastic live version, at least for me. And of course, Reconsider Baby was previously unknown at the time, so that was a very cool addition. And yeah, I just love this set. Like I said, it was released in Germany, 3 LP and 3 CD set, or 3 LP or 3 CD. I have both, but I'll just show you the CD set here. And like I said, in USA they had the long box for the CD, but there was also a vinyl version in USA, very short-lived and very hard to find these days, I have heard. They were supposed to have pressed like 10,000 copies, and they decided to delete it, so I think only about maybe 1,000 copies actually was released. So this is quite a rare, and I remember seeing in Paul Dowling's catalog he sold it for about $100. So yeah, I think I paid about like $200 for it many years later. But you know, I'm a collector, and I love these things. Cool to have. This is the absolute last vinyl pressed in USA. Now they have started again, but you know, for the last one in the original run, so to speak, in 1991. And there's another set I'd like to show you. Same set, of course, but the Japanese pressing, a small jewel case with the OBI. And I'm amazed the Japanese didn't go for a big box or a long box, but nice to have anyway. And yeah, I'd just like to tell that this is an amazing set. Of course, it was followed by the Masters boxes, 50s, 60s and 70s Masters, and a lot of boxes since then. But this was one of the earlier ones, with Roger Semon and Ernst Jorgensen at the top, and paved a new future for us Elvis fans, I'd say, with the sound. And they knew what we wanted, you know. They knew that we hungered for outtakes and better tapes and deluxe packaging with nice booklets. There's a booklet in this one, not so thick, but very accurate, and nice photos. And I'm sure this box, they tried to test the water. And because following year in 1992 they released, like I said, the big 50s box, and it was yeah, it was a gamble, they thought. So I think this one was to test the waters, or just a nice gift for the fans. And I'm forever grateful for this to the producers and everyone involved with it, since this is one of my absolute favorite sets. And it's probably down to you know, I was young and like to be reminded of my younger days. I can exactly remember when I bought it and how I felt, and you know, I guess you can feel the same for things that you have bought. So this was just a little talk about Collector's Gold from 1991, one of my favorite Elvis Presley box sets. I wish you now a trevlig midsommar, and maybe we'll meet you again. Till then, take care. Bye bye.